Good afternoon. Welcome to our latest edition of If You Don't Have It, You Can't Sell It podcast. I'm Craig Barnell from Fisher's Finery and Inventory Optimizer, and I'm joined by Ryan Carbone from Inventory Optimizer. Today, we'd like to discuss some of the issues going on with AWD. And Ryan, what are some thoughts that you have about what we should discuss with regards to Amazon warehouse and distribution?
Well, I know that Fisher's Finery has been using AWD for a long time. They, in fact, were part of the beta program for AWD. And I just wanted to kind of hear what your experience has been with AWD, as well as any difficulties that you've had, and why did you move to AWD?
Well, let's start on a really positive note and talk about the why first. As anyone who knows AWD and has been involved, there's been some challenges. But let's talk about the premise by which we decided to make the why we made the decision to change. So when we were approached to move into AWD, we looked at it purely on an economic basis first. If the economics didn't make sense, there was no sense to move forward. So the economics were remarkable. We were talking about savings between the 80 and $100,000 mark annually by shutting down our contracted warehouses uh, on the left coast, the center around Houston, and one on the right coast for product coming out of Pakistan and India. And so the economics were a huge thumbs up. The second criteria we used to evaluate was operational. Would there be would it be positive, neutral, or negative from an operational standpoint? And based on the original information and everything that was laid out and what AWD was scaling up to become, it would be a net gain operationally. And when I say would be, I mean we're still talking a little bit into the future. There have been some issues along the way. But to answer your question of why we made the switch, uh, the economics were phenomenal, and the operational ingesting the modality of going to AWD was a non-issue for us from an operational standpoint. So it made all the sense in the world.
Yeah, I guess that leads me into my next question. With AWD, we've seen numerous slowdowns, and I guess this is the negative part of AWD, in which we've had clients who were having difficulty getting their inventory into AWD, especially during Q4. Can you explain how Inventory Optimizer helped Fisher's Finery with that in preparation for Q4?
Sure. So Ryan, as you know, since we've been using Fisher's Finery data in the platform of Inventory Optimizer for geez, going on 8 years now, we have a whole bunch of data. And we have some highly seasonal collections. So just a little commercial for Inventory Optimizer does an amazing job with its AI-driven demand and sales forecasting tools, identifying trends and seasonality. So Q4 is such an important period for most sellers, and it takes on a double importance for us because not only does our entire catalog pick up, we also have highly seasonal products that are cashmere accessories, hats, gloves, and scarves that are very seasonal and do really well during the holidays. So, there's no sales during the summer, and then all of a sudden it increases dramatically. So, because we already had that ideology or that modality worked out, being able to place orders for a product like cashmere, which has to be ordered in March to get here for late September, mid-October to then get into the Amazon ecosystem, the timeline or the time frame needed to adapt into AWD was a non-issue for us. As you know, we call Horizon the amount of time it takes to issue a PO and get it to an FC. We just viewed AWD as an interim warehouse and just didn't change the time frame it was going to take. AWD was just another stop along the supply chain. So using Inventory Optimizer and adjusting the horizon to make it a little bit longer to incorporate some of the extra days to get a product into AWD, it was a relatively smooth transition for us. Your point about the slowdowns and things, if you're using a product like ours, you're going to be ordering the quantities needed to get through Q4, and you're going to be getting them here well in advance of the peak season because we know there's going to be issues with supply chain. Everything gets clogged up. The ports get clogged up. Appointments with full trailer load and less than trailer load, UPS, FedEx, everything gets clogged up. So to say that Amazon was going to hit the ground running and not experience issues is fool's gold. We knew they were going to have issues. We went in anyway. We knew it. The other thing I know about Amazon is when there's an issue, they put the resources behind it to fix it. And I can tell you, meeting with the AWD team at the recent Amazon Accelerate, they know there's an issue and they are addressing it. So, um, Inventory Optimizer really had allowed us to get the product staged in advance of the issues that we experienced last year with AWD. And so we were able to react and move product in manually or intercept it before it got to AWD at warehouses where we do cross docking and divert more product into FBA because we already had the data. So we were able to, you know, move around the issues that were brewing at AWD as we saw them building moving into November in the meat of Q4. So it really had a negligible impact on us. You may recall that from a managed services perspective, we've worked with a number of clients where we've done the same type of thing, that we know things are going to get backed up. So we understand that. So if we know it's going to be happening, or if we have a high degree of probability and we have software sophisticated at ours, we can just divide the inbound shipments as a buffer. If you put product into FBA, it's just going to lessen the amount that the algorithms from Amazon push in. So it's not going to be duplicitous. You're not going to overstock FBA because we have the data. Our software is going to give us a very accurate prediction of what's going to sell, push a little bit more with FBA, a little bit less reliance on AWD, and everything works out well.
Yeah, that's another reason why Restock AMZ inside of our tool can help restock FBA from AWD inventory, because we know that Amazon struggles with getting the right amount of inventory into FBA from AWD using automatic replenishment. Maybe that's something that you could speak to with a little bit higher degree of expertise.
Well, I don't know about higher degree, but I'll tell you what I know. So we do know that going back more than a year, when I met with the folks from Amazon's predictive analytics and AI team, not this Accelerate, but the previous Accelerate meetings, we looked at our Inventory Optimizer and Restock AMZ tool alongside of the Amazon replenishment tool inside FBA, which AWD relies on to move product in. Now, Fisher's Finery is about as 100% Amazon centric as you can become. AWD, FBA, MCF, multi-channel fulfillment. So any seller that's listening to us or watching us that uses MCF, uh, you know, turn up your volume a little bit. We know that Amazon's forecasting tools to replenish the fulfillment network, FBA, which is also MCF, does not include MCF demand. We have products that sell more off Amazon than they do on Amazon. So it was very easy for us to understand why we were having issues. We had product at AWD, we had listings at Amazon with no inventory, and if you're just looking at Seller Central, the product is still quote unquote buyable. I get it. That's not true with MCF, multi-channel fulfillment. The feed that populates Shopify, it is not buyable until it is slotted in an FC. So if it's being checked in, it's in transit while it's live on Amazon, it is not live on Shopify. And we had massive issues with out of stock conditions at on our Shopify store, which is a mid seven figure store. It's not an insignificant portion of our business. It's not as big as Amazon, but it's significant. And so using our tool to have a higher degree of predictability of what's going to be selling is going to allow us to make educated decisions, you know, in preparation for the firestorm that's going to happen. We know what's coming. So let's make the most informed decisions we can make. And our software is amazingly accurate. I'm not ashamed to tell people, across 4,000 SKUs, we've been doing this for quite some time. It's 93% accurate when it comes to predicting the demand of Fisher's Finery products across multiple categories. So it can help just about anyone who's listening.
Well, thank you so much, Craig. And if anyone out there needs help with their inventory, with inventory forecasting, with inventory planning, sales forecasting, please feel free to reach out. Please comment below. Please subscribe. And we're looking forward to hearing from you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.
Thanks, Ryan. Have a great weekend.